Rejoice everyone, the pandemic era of wrestling is ending very soon. I think Money in the Bank will be the beginning of the new era of wrestling, which is back to fans, I guess. AW is also going back on tour, so that's going to be awesome. And I think this is probably going to be the beginning of the old era of wrestling where fans actually come back in attendance. And the pandemic era has been pretty bad, to say the least. The effect of not having fans in your attendance was felt by WWE as well as AEW and every single corporation in the fucking world. But they tried their best. AEW tried to put some people in the seats to make a limited amount of noise, while WWE initially had no people and then I guess tried to bring in some LED panels to form people. It worked to an extent, but it just wasn't the same as having the people in attendance. But don't take that away from the wrestlers. They tried their absolute best to put on 5-star performances every time they went inside a ring. And there have been some absolute phenomenal wrestling even in the pandemic era. So let's take a look at 10 of the best matches from the pandemic era of wrestling. A little bit of a disclaimer, I guess. I'm only covering WWE and AEW because these are the only two promotions I watch regularly. So if you want to see anything like New Japan, you might want to watch the top 5 matches that got 5-star above from New Japan from Meltzer's star ratings. Why not? I should mention this. The time that I'm considering for the pandemic era of wrestling is the beginning of WrestleMania 36 and the ending of WrestleMania 37. So if it's before WrestleMania 36 or after WrestleMania 37, I'm not actually considering it. Sorry. Number 10. Parking Lot Brawl. Best Friends person. Proud and powerful. Actually my second favorite pandemic era cinematic style match. It was so good. It was absolutely phenomenal. This is what a backstage brawl is supposed to be. Just people beating each other up for no reason whatsoever. There were so many great spots and this is a spot based match of course. People getting powerbombed through cars and a lot of weird shit. This got a 5-star from Dave Mercer, so you know it's a pretty good match because any match that gets 5-star is definitely a good match at the very least. And the ending with Trent's mom flipping us off is something I did not know I wanted, but now that I got it, I'm not letting go of it anytime soon. It's a fucking beautiful. Number 9. NXT Championship match, Finn Balor versus Kyle O'Reilly. I think it's fair to say that this match would have been even better if Finn Balor did not get his jaw broken by Kyle O'Reilly. But this still is an absolutely phenomenal match. A star-making performance for Kyle O'Reilly. It's a shame that it did not lead up to the potential that it could have, given that Balor's jaw was broken half of the fucking match. But I think it's very fair to say that this match is the reason that we took Kyle O'Reilly seriously after Adam Cole was no longer with him for a moment, and now leading into the future with Kyle O'Reilly possibly becoming NXT champion. I'm all for this. One of the best matches from NXT last year. Number 8. Intercontinental Championship match, AJ Styles versus Daniel Bryan. I think this is the only television match from WWE we will see on this list because most of their best matches have been from pay-per-views. But this one is absolutely brilliant. Almost a 40-minute match and nothing. It felt like a 15-minute match because it's so good. Two of the best wrestlers in the entire world fighting for one of the most prestigious championships of all time, the Work Rate Championship that defines the mid-card of SmackDown, the Intercontinental Championship. It's a shame that we might not see them wrestle ever again. Daniel Bryan is no longer a part of WWE at the moment, but I would love to see this match again. Absolutely the best match on SmackDown of 2020, no question. Number 7. Hell in a Cell SmackDown Women's Championship match, Sasha Banks vs Bayley. This rivalry is absolutely one of the top from all of WWE's history. It is the pinnacle of women's rivalry, and last year was amazing. A lot of people might have this match a little bit higher on their ranks, and fair enough, but this match absolutely bangs. Sasha Banks shows why she is the MVP of women's wrestling, one of the stars of WWE. Bayley holds her own more than enough. Shame that WWE forgot about her after this match. But this match is absolutely brilliant. Everything you needed it to be for Sasha Banks' coronation as the champion. Fucking perfection. Stadium Stampede, The Elite versus Inner Circle. This is my favorite match from Double or Nothing 2020 and probably one of the best things that we got from the pandemic. If it wasn't from the pandemic, maybe we would not have seen a Stadium Stampede match, but this was fucking brilliant. Everything from Adam Page coming out on a fucking horse, to the entire dash that they did with suplexes across the entire stadium, to Chris Jericho hitting a mascot with the Judas effect, to all the comedic spots, Matt Hardy changing gimmicks in the fucking match itself. It's brilliant. Should have gotten a 5-star because it's absolutely chaotic comedy wrestling, but perfection, and ended with the Elite standing together strong. I mean, what else do you want? Number 5. NXT UK Championship, Walter vs Ilja Dragunov. I think both of them forgot in the middle of the match that wrestling isn't supposed to be real. You weren't actually supposed to kill each other, but they did. This is the most brutal match of 2020. This at one point gets so uncomfortable that you don't want to see it, but you can't take your eyes away from it as well. Walter is the biggest superstar in wrestling. When you see him, it's not even a question that he is the biggest star in all of wrestling. Just look at him, and Dragunov holds his own. Absolutely. This is, if you're into people beating each other up, I think this might be the best pick for you because it is absolute perfection for what it tried to be. It's not for everyone, fine, but holy shit was it great. Number 4. AEW Tag Team Championship, Young Bucks vs FTR. Talk about storytelling. One of the best told stories through an entire match in 2020. The basic premise of the match was Young Bucks are way more aerodynamic and they are paying homage basically to the Hardy Boys or the Rockers or their generation of wrestling, while FTR are very more ground-based wrestling, paying homage to, I guess, the Dudley Boys or the Four Horsemen for fuck's sake. Is the clash between the two sorts of style of wrestling that makes this match absolutely great. The ending was also brilliant with one of the other teams trying another team's move and it backfired in their face. It was perfect. The absolute best ending to any match that I've seen in 2020. What a fucking match. Hell in a Cell, Universal Championship match, Roman Reigns versus Jey Uso. This match solidified for me that Roman Reigns is the next biggest thing in WWE. I mean, Drew McIntyre was great and all, but Roman Reigns made me pay attention to SmackDown again. The whole storyline that he still has with Jey Uso and Jimmy Uso and everything going on right now is perfect, and this was sort of the beginning for it. Jey not giving up no matter what Roman does was perfect, but then Jimmy getting involved and him getting his ass whooped, which leads to Jimmy getting fucked up, and Jey getting beaten is absolutely perfect. The beginning of one of the best characters in wrestling history, the best Hell in a Cell match that we've gotten in a fucking while. Number 2, unsanctioned lights out match, Dr. Britt Baker DMD versus Thunder Rosa. For a lot of people, it might not be this high up in your list, and fair enough, but I think this is my favorite match from 2020 because of what it stood for. See, for a long time, the AEW Women's Division was bad, to be honest. It wasn't that good, even compared to SmackDown or Raw. It wasn't that good, but this was a fucking point maker. This changed the perception of the AEW Women's Division to showing that they can do anything that the men can and more. You don't feel comfortable watching this match at any point because, well, it's two women making each other bleed and it's not comfortable. But this was a fucking statement and it was perfect. Both women came out looking like superstars and it's a perfect match. Watch it. And finally, the match that you should watch in 2020. The reason I'm sort of grateful for the pandemic era of wrestling, the Firefly Funhouse match, John Cena versus The Fiend, Bray Wyatt. If it wasn't for the pandemic, we never would have gotten this, and that's a fucking crime. I know a lot of sacrifices came to the AEW, WWE, New Japan, and everywhere. There were so many stoppages of so many plans, but we got the Firefly Funhouse match, which is, I'm not joking, one of my favorite things in wrestling of all time. The absolute brilliant character work of The Fiend mixed in with the amazing fourth wall breaking storytelling of the Funhouse is my highlight from WrestleMania 36. I know a lot of people might put the Boneyard match or anything along those lines in here. No, the Funhouse match was absolutely brilliant as John Cena's final match for the time being. I know he's coming back, but it's brilliant. It was the peak for The Fiend after his god awful run with the Universal Championship. But thank you, Pandemic, for the Firefly Funhouse. Fuck you for everything else, though. So thank you everybody so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you did, be sure to let me know in the comments what you want to see next. I often read those and of course answer every single one of them. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to like, share and subscribe. That helps out the channel a lot more than you can imagine. I will probably be bringing out the best 10 matches from the first half of 2021 very soon, since you seem to enjoy this video, and be sure to subscribe to watch that. Be sure to follow me on Twitter at @NOP_YouTube for my takes on different wrestling stuff. I just post random shit. You might enjoy that. Thank you again, and as always, I'll see you in the next one.